Let's say you've never played The Sims before and you're like these people. No experience, no knowledge, but unlike them, you've got a thirst to learn. I got some great news for you then. Sims 4 is a pretty easy game to play. Now, if you're a more experienced player, but still want to learn more about the game, I have a good playlist that features all sorts of bits and bobs to learn about, in particular my 20 things you didn't know about The Sims 4 videos. Click the pop-up in the top right to watch the first one. Despite the game's tutorials, the game might feel complex and slightly intimidating. It's not like opening up Destiny 2 or Fallout 76 intimidating, but it's not as straightforward as a game like this. Here are some tips and tricks for new simmers. There's no right way in playing this game. There are various different playstyles, and you might have to try them all before you find something that you enjoy the most. You might have already encountered Cass, aka Create a Sim. This is where you create your characters. You can really customize how they look here. To change their body or facial features, you have to click on the part you want to make the change. Then drag your mouse to change the shape or the size. To fine-tune their faces, you have to either double-click their face or click this option right here. Now you have access to drag and pull points you didn't have before this. To exit this mode, you click here. Some areas you might not be aware of that you can change would be their back posture. You click on their shoulders and you pull up or down for this. Their foot size, which you can change by clicking their feet. And lastly, their pupils. If you want to set several different outfits for each category, you do so by clicking this option right here. When you add a new outfit, it'll copy your original outfit to another tab. This is a good way to ensure your sim has the proper hair, makeup, or accessories throughout all of their looks in this category. You can save skin tones or makeup swatches. Once you're happy with the skin tone or makeup swatch, you click this button here, and now it's saved for future use. Moving on to build mode. This might feel daunting to open up. Trust me, I think we've all been there. Building takes time, skill, and experience. You'll find out over time what you would like to do with your builds and what looks good to you. My biggest piece of advice for this would be to try to start building with a photo or an idea as inspiration. I find having a muse helps me with decisions while building, and it makes me think about those smaller details that might not have popped into my mind otherwise. Personally, I like trying to think of all my builds as if it was in real life. Like, what would be featured in a building like this in real life? What would the flow of the areas be like? What sort of clutter or items would be here? One good tip to replicate a more natural looking landscape or garden would be to paint the ground with dirt. Do this around a building or a fence to make it look like dirt has gathered up here or it was freshly made. Furthermore, you could just create little areas where it gets gradually dirtier. I like adding several plants around items or within the garden. Having a few different plants in various sizes will help make the area look realistic. Also adding these rocks but sizing them down by clicking the open square bracket, or you can size it up by clicking the closed square bracket. And I like to just scatter all these rocks here, and it looks a little bit more realistic to me. If you want to be able to move items without being limited to the grid, open up your cheat window by clicking Ctrl, Shift, and C. Type in testing cheats on and then enter BB move objects on. This will allow you to ignore the grid and move items in a more creative way. There are other build cheats that might help you out. The categories we see as players actually doesn't contain every single item in this game. If you want to access those items, aka debug items, you'll need to use the cheats BB ignore gameplay unlocks entitlement, BB show hidden objects, and BB show live edit objects. With those cheats, you've unlocked thousands of hidden items. TwistedMexi has some fantastic mods to help you so you don't have to type in those build cheats every single time you enter a lot. More on mods and how to use them in a moment though. It's good to note that your household's inventory is located here in build by mode. Sometimes items will end up here if you move houses or if you unlock reward items through careers. There are hotkeys for build by mode and live mode. You can learn all about the hotkeys from this video right here. The hotkeys I use often in build by mode would be B to get back to build mode, even though its intended use is to quickly switch to the wall building tool. You can also click F2 for buy mode, or F3 to enter build mode, F1 to switch to live mode. To quickly duplicate an item, you can click Shift with the item in your hand. To quickly delete, you can click K to bring up the sledgehammer tool. There are lots of hotkeys and I don't want to go over them all right now, so if you want to learn more about it, you can find the hotkey video in the description down below. let's go over live mode and how this aspect of the game works. In reality, there's so much you can do in this mode, whether you want to play a single sim, a family, an evil or good sim, or maybe you want to go a bit darker and create something like a cult. There's nothing holding you back from any of these experiences. There are some basic game mechanics you need to keep in mind while playing in live mode. You need to ensure that your sim is happy. You do this by fulfilling their needs, which are located in this panel down here. To quickly fix a need, you can click on the icon and the game will automatically put an action in their action queue to help with that need. You can get a job by opening this tab and selecting this, or by clicking on your sim's phone and selecting it through this menu. Job requirements will be displayed here. You don't need a traditional job if you don't want one. You can also make money in many different ways. If your sim is in school, this is where their school information will be shown, like their grade. Your relationship with others will be located in this menu. You can click on a sim profile and take a look at a more detailed panel like this. This is where you find sentiments and if they're single or married, or if they graduate high school or college, and all that fun little stuff. Your aspiration is your sim's big goal. There are different levels you need to complete to finish the overall aspiration. As you finish tasks related to this, you'll receive satisfaction points. These points can be spent in the reward store. When you're done with an aspiration, you'll receive a bonus trait that's related to that aspiration. Your sim's wants and fears will be displayed over their head, over here, and over back in this panel. These wants are short-term, immediate desires. You can ignore them or complete them if you want. Their fears are, well, you know, things that scare them. They can be as simple as being scared of the dark or fire, or they could be stuff like being afraid of dying. They can conquer their fears by interacting with elements related to them. Furthermore, Sims have emotions in Sims 4. You can see all of their moodlets right below their faces right here. These moodlets will show you how long they're going to feel like this, what caused it, and a little blurb about it. And also the stat that it adds. So it's like +3 happy or +1 uncomfortable. Things like that. As we talked about before, there are way too many ways to play this game. If you can dream up a storyline, you most likely can play it out in Sims 4. However, there are a few fan favorites. For example, the 100 baby challenge. This is just pure chaos. Your goal is to have 100 babies with different partners. Black Widow challenge, where you try to marry several different Sims, kill them, and then complete various smaller tasks throughout. 7 toddler challenge, which is another chaotic one. For this one, you need 1 adult Sim and 7 toddlers. You try to juggle raising all 7 of the tots to adulthood. Lastly, rags to riches. You start off with no money and try to become very, very rich. This one is interesting and can be done in several different ways. Just take a look at James Turner. He does it with every new DLC. I've made a series of videos about several player-made challenges similar to those ones. I'll put the links for them in the video description, or you can click the pop-up right now to see the first video. In recent years, Sims 4 has actually begun to include challenges like those in-game. These are called scenarios. You can access them from the main menu. There are ones that are always available, and then there are limited time only ones. This is nice if you don't want to be the one to control the challenge and you just want to leave that up to the game. However, they don't go as in-depth as the player-made challenges and won't allow you to customize the experience or change it at all. Finally, we gotta talk about mods and custom content, aka CC. Mods and CC are things you can download online for the game. To do this, you'll download the mod or CC and unzip the folder if it's one of these 2 file types. Move those files into the mods folder. The mods folder will be located in Drive folder, User, Username, Documents, Electronic Arts, The Sims 4, then Mods. If there isn't a mod folder, you can create a new folder and name it Mods. Open up The Sims 4 and open up the options and select Game Options. And click Other Options. Make sure Enable Custom Content and Mods is checked. You will have to restart your game after this, but once you open it up again, the mods and CC will be in game. You can find mods, CC, and things like poses on websites such as The Sims Resource or Mod The Sims. It's good to remember that later this year, in 2022, a new desktop destination for mods and CC will be coming to players. This is due to the partnership between Sims 4 and Overwolf with their mod manager and discovery platform for user-generated content. The platform will be a moderated, curated space for users and creators to manage the Sims 4 mods and user-generated content. We'll talk more about this in the future. Anywho, mods are a great way to add additional elements to the game. This allows you to experience things that aren't in the original game, like extreme violence, drug use, some spicier gameplay, and brand new worlds or activities. A few popular ones include MC Command Center, Adjust Sims Heights, Slice of Life, Meaningful Stories, WickedWhims, Basemental Drugs, and Control Pets mod. If you're a new player, The Sims 4 might feel complex and slightly intimidating. Hopefully, you've learned something new throughout this video today. If you want to look at the playlist designed for new players, you can find the link for it in this video description down below. And if you're an experienced player, please leave a tip or a trick in the comment section for new players. Thank you for watching. I hope you're staying happy, healthy, and hydrated. Until next time, bye!